Greetings, YouTube. Truth will rise back with part two, I guess you can call it, of kind of my take and kind of analysis, I guess, on, as I've been calling, the political theater that has transpired over the past 48 hours, as you all know, about the whole announcement of Osama bin Laden allegedly being deceased. And of course, it's a hot topic, and just like it was said and it was predicted by others and myself, that this was going to be used to force people, to have to once again relive 9/11 and reprogram that fear. But before I get into that, I have to kind of touch on this whole thing again. People, you really got to really start doing some critical thinking and some critical analysis. This story, if this was a case, I mean, you wouldn't have enough to go to trial. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that there's no evidence, you don't show a picture, when they went in and killed Saddam, and whether you think that was really him or whatever, that's another discussion. They practically showed everything but the hanging on film, and you can probably find footage of, the body swinging. And when they, killed Uday and Qusay, that's his sons. Those pictures, and they were pretty grotesque. Those were shown all over the place. But for some unknown reason, you can't get a picture of allegedly Mr. bin Laden here. And the fact that they just dumped the body in the ocean, that seems laughable to me. I have watched a little bit of the news. Haven't watched as much because I don't want to fill my head with the mainstream media's intellectual junk food, I like to call it. But where apparently they just dumped the body in the ocean, weighed it down and dumped it in the ocean. And no one's asking. Apparently that doesn't seem odd to anyone. The masses are just taking that and running with it. And it doesn't make any real sense. But like I said on the last video, it's almost really a moot point in the sense of whether he's really dead or not. Said this is just going to be further used to heighten fear, heighten the specter of 9/11, Al-Qaeda, and all of that, and to continue the war on terror. Because you think this is going to end now because they allegedly killed this guy. No. Now what you're going to see is, like I said, you're going to see more. You may have to be metal detected to go in malls and convenience stores or wherever now, because there could be retaliatory attacks now. So the war can't end now, because now we have to be ever vigilant amongst retaliatory attacks, because he's now made a martyr. And this is going to allow that ridiculous war to continue. They're going to use that to perpetuate that, which will be increased profits for the defense contractors and the international bankers and all that crowd, and will allow that to continue as far as the fear-based programming that has been going on over here. And don't be surprised if you see now people like myself and others who have questions and speak out against it. If they have any type of public voice, they're going to be demonized all over again. Can't say you heard it here first, but you heard it here. So when that happens, and it most certainly will, watch. They're going to be branded as crazy, as stupid, and you'll even have some of these political idiots who may want to brand them as Republicans or whatever. When I know, speaking for myself, and I've shared this on so many of my other videos, the political party system is a farce, and it's a smokescreen to keep the people arguing amongst themselves. So that's my prediction, and you know, after studying what the PTBs do, I'm pretty certain that that's what you're going to see happen. And just sit back and watch how many times you'll see pictures over the next, if you haven't already seen them, of the towers burning. But I tell you this, what they won't show, you won't see Building 7, and you may see the Pentagon, but you won't see Building 7, that's a whole nother video all in itself. But you know, the whole thing, it stinks to high heavens. If you have eyes to see it, you can clearly see that this, you know, is a distraction and a smokescreen and a ploy to re-drum up that fear, to reinstitute that, because what you had happening, of course, over the past few years, I guess the truth movement or people waking up, it picked up steam, and more people were becoming aware of what really happened, or people wanting a true independent investigation of the events of that day, more and more. And people were once again starting to kind of more or less wake up politically, so it's time to drum up the fear machine. As I told you on my previous videos, you better study and look up what the Hegelian dialectic is, or the Hegelian principle, which is synthesis, antithesis, problem, reaction, solution. I can't remember the other one, but, you know, and you can see that program played out over and over again, you know. And, you know, there so much of, as I talked about in one of my previous videos, big government and everything that goes on is based on fear. It just plays into that. And it could even, you know, fear to compel you to do something, or fear to compel you, you know, not to say anything, for fear of being ostracized, you know, maybe by people in your circle, or from a societal standpoint. But I don't care, you know. I could care less about being accepted by the masses, because the masses will tell you, you know, they'll repeat the same things that been drilled into them by all these false institutions, you know, education, government, religion, and all those things. And it serves to really blind you and to box you in intellectually to thinking things are a certain way when in fact they're not. And you've got to break out of that closed system of thinking and really look at events like this and understand what's really going on, that you're being sucked in and taken for a ride to produce a desired result. That result, you know, is fear and acquiescence to the PTBs for not your safety, or, you know, them to help you, but to further their agenda and their power. You've got to understand that. And, you know, the time for just, you know, going along, you know, with what these quote-unquote authority figures, you know, just tell you, and just, you know, hypnotically accepting it has got to stop. You know, it's time to start asking questions. It's time to, you know, for lack of a better term, stop dropping the mental soap, you know, and really start to understand, you know, the world that you live in. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this particular segment, this video here. You know, I appreciate everyone who's been watching. Appreciate the comments, positive. And if you happen to disagree, that's perfectly fine. And if you want to leave a comment, I won't, block or delete those comments. I just ask that if you do disagree or if you agree, do it in a respectful, mature, intellectual manner, because we're all grown-ups here. We can have a debate where we differ over things, but we have to be mature and respectful. And as long as that happens, then, I don't have a problem with that. Of course, when people, you get out of line and start calling people names and using all types of language, then I'm gonna have to, go ahead and cut that off, because that's not the type of environment that we want to foster here on this channel and on this page here. So if we can all do that, then definitely hopefully we can have a good discussion and hopefully can open up some people's eyes. So with that being said, this is The Truth Will Rise here, signing off, wishing you many blessings, peace, and prosperity with you and yours, and we'll catch everyone later.